The room that wasn't there. Jenna, a spirited young woman with a knack for discovering hidden gems, couldn't believe her luck when she stumbled upon the listing for an unusually affordable Victorian mansion. Its grandeur seemed to whisper secrets through its ornate architecture. The owner, Mr. Willis, an enigmatic figure with watery eyes that seemed to hold unspoken truths, greeted her with a gravelly voice. His only admonition? "Don't enter the locked room at the end of the east hallway." Jenna chuckled, her curiosity piqued rather than deterred. A locked room, how delightfully Gothic. She imagined it held tales of romance, perhaps even hidden treasures. Little did she know, it was no fairy tale awaiting behind that darkened door. As she settled into the mansion, Jenna found herself enchanted by its sinister charm. The house seemed alive, its shadows lurking in corners, whispering stories to the creaking floorboards with every cautious step. Nights were filled with the symphony of the wind as it whistled through the old windows, creating an atmosphere both beautiful and foreboding. The east hallway, however, seemed colder than the rest, an anomaly she shrugged off at first. But nights brought about eerie sounds from behind the locked door, whispers, the scraping of nails on wood, distant thuds that reverberated through the walls. The suspense became a melody of madness she couldn't escape. Jenna's resolve waned as her curiosity grew unbearable. Ignoring Mr. Willis's warning, she armed herself with a flashlight and makeshift tools, her heart racing with anticipation and dread as she approached the door that beckoned her with an unholy invitation. The lock yielded with a moaning click, the door creaking open to reveal a room shrouded in oppressive darkness. The air was thick with the tang of mildew and an unsettling metallic scent. Her flashlight beam revealed gouges in the walls, claw marks that told of desperation and pain. On the floor lay cryptic symbols, a circle surrounding a blackened stain that seemed to pulse like a heartbeat in the shadows. And then she saw it, a mirror larger than life, its ornate frame oddly enticing, yet its surface was a swirling chasm of void. And then she saw it, a mirror larger than life, its ornate frame oddly enticing, yet its surface was a swirling chasm of void. And then she saw it, a mirror larger than life, its ornate frame oddly enticing, yet its surface was a swirling chasm of void. Inexorably drawn to the mirror, Jenna felt its pull deep within her psyche, a calling she couldn't resist. The door slammed shut with the finality of a crypt ceiling. Darkness engulfed her as the flashlight flickered and died. "Hello?" she called, her voice a mere waver in the overwhelming silence, and then a whisper echoed, her name. Her reflection appeared, yet it was twisted, its features monstrous, eyes aglow with a sinister intent. "Let me out," it rasped, its voice a grotesque mimicry of her own. Horror swept through Jenna as she realized she faced not herself, but something other, something born of malevolence. Laughing with a chilling hollowness, the reflection's voice reverberated through the room, mingling with the ghastly sight of symbols that began to glow with a ghastly red light. The blackened stain on the floor expanded, shadows reaching for Jenna like the claws of a nightmare. Panicked, Jenna battered against the door, desperate cries for help swallowed by the oppressive silence of the house. Behind her, the mirror rippled, the abomination stepping forth, its movements unnaturally jerky, a puppet of darkness frescoed with a grim parody of life. "Don't leave," it hissed, the sound a macabre melody of threat. In a surge of adrenaline-fueled terror, Jenna hurled herself against the door one last time. It yielded and she stumbled into the hallway, expecting pursuit. She turned back, but there was no monstrous reflection, no door, only a blank wall mocking her reality. Gasping for breath, Jenna fled the house, the once grand mansion now a specter behind her. Its oppressive air lingered, a dark cloud that followed her every step, whispering promises of inevitable return. Weeks later, in the safety of her new apartment, Jenna tried to bury the trauma that haunted her dreams, but the nightmare refused to fade. A letter arrived from Mr. Willis, his cryptic words cutting through her fragile peace. "I told you not to open the door. You let it out." Despite burning the letter, the feeling of being watched never left her. Mirrors in her apartment took on a sinister life, the reflection sometimes wearing a smile she never made. An echo of the nightmare, a reminder of the enigma unsolved. In the shadows, she could almost hear her name whispered, a spectral promise that the story was far from over.